The top 4 seeds in the dance read as follows: in the East, Villanova; in the Midwest, KU; in the South, North Carolina; and in the West, Gonzaga. Do you agree with the committee's choices, Tim?
Well, I mean, Duke just beat North Carolina in the ACC Conference Tournament. Duke has more wins versus top 50, one more than North Carolina. They've beat them 2 out of 3 times head-to-head, but North Carolina gets the number 1 seed. How do I explain that? I don't. I don't. Gonzaga, I think, deserves the number 1 out west. I'm sure Arizona's saying, hey, we just won the Pac-12 championship, but at Gonzaga, they have the trump card. We beat you. So nothing you could do there. Villanova took care of business in the East. And Kansas, I think, going into the conference tournaments, they were considered by probably everybody as the favorite or the overall number 1 seed. So even though they lost early at TCU, that did not affect their status. But this has been the top 4 seeds for how long now?
Couple weeks, 3-4 weeks.
It's about right.
When you look at these 4 teams, which squad has the easiest, in your estimation, route to the Final Four?
I still think it's Kansas. You know, when I look at their bracket, I think Oregon could be dangerous. Louisville's a team that a lot of people didn't expect to be at number 2. Frank Mason III's had an unbelievable year. Kansas has shown great fortitude, remarkable toughness, figuring out ways to win, making multiple comebacks. This game against Baylor, they're down double figures in the second half. They knocked them off. The Big 12 was top-heavy this year, but there were still some good teams in the middle of the conference. So rightfully so, they deserve a number 1, but at my trust level with all these teams, my biggest trust would probably be with Villanova.
Okay.
Yeah, I just think that they're experienced. They have a backcourt that's been there before, obviously won it last year. They can play 2 different styles, slow it down, speed it up. But when you look at Kansas' bracket there, Tyler, who else jumps off the board to you?
Louisville, of course. Michigan's playing some good basketball right now. Purdue, I think Purdue could give them trouble in the Elite 8 if they get there. Or
Sweet 16.
Sweet 16, pardon me. I just like Caleb Swanigan so much. But I kind of agree with you. I kind of look at that and say, you know, of the number 2 or the number 3 or the number 4 seeds, there's not the strongest in my estimation. They're good teams, obviously, to be ranked that high, but Kansas would be the overwhelming favorite for good reason in the Midwest.
That's what I had. I have Kansas playing Purdue there. I think Purdue could win that game. Now they're going to have to really shoot well from the perimeter, but that's a game that I have circled. I actually have Oregon coming out of that region.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but they're going to need some help. And that's when you do your brackets, you got to play the domino effect. So yes, if Kansas beats Purdue, then I think Kansas beats Oregon. So it's unfortunate you got to kind of plan out those things, but I think Oregon, even though they lost Boucher, Dylan Brooks is a guy who could do so many different things well. He's so versatile. They have a ton of athletes out there, but Brooks is a guy who makes big shots in big moments. And that bracket's just not that good.
Hit us up at 120 Sports. Share your thoughts with your comments on the NCAA Tournament bracket.